Hi everyone, this is Tracy from WeCraft at Home, and I said I would show you how to make the box that I put my candle in, so we're going to do that now. So we need a few shapes. I want a square, the small rectangle, this shape here, and a triangle. So I can put the shapes away and have a bit more space to work. So I'm going to start with the square, but I'm going to take off the maintain aspect ratio because I'm going to change it to a different size. So I'm going to make this square two sides of the box. Now my box I've done 4 inches wide, so I will stick to that size just so that you can see that. But obviously if you've got a different shaped candle or whatever it is you're doing and you want to make it a different size, then change the sizes according to them. So the width I want is 8 inches, 2 sides of 4. The height I want is 6 inches because the candle is 5.5 inches high. So now I'm going to take this shape, we're going to turn it 90 degrees, and this one I want 4 high so that there's an inch either side of it, up here and down here. So 4 high, 2 wide, I think I've done it. And we can use the squares, so I'm going to go in a bit closer so I can show you. Back on the arrow. If I fit these onto the squares, and you can check where you are with the X and Y, so that says I'm bang on a square. That one I'm going to have to, yeah, there we go. So it's bang on the squares, so I know that. And then this, I can put it there, and it looks like there's inches all the way round. Oh, I've done a really good job there, and I've put it bang on. 1 and 3. So then we need to duplicate that one and do the same over here. It looks like I need to, there, 5 and 3, there we go. So that seems to be bang on. And what we're going to do, if I just hold shift and hold them 2, we make sure they're in line just to double check, and that's fine. So what we're going to do is remove overlap so that we can just take them out. Now we're going to put them to the side because we're going to use them later when we do the lid. All we have now is this shape. We're going to turn it 90 degrees. Oh, now this one we know we want, I'm going to put the aspect ratio back on, but we know we want 6 inches, so it's the same size as the box, the box. If we hold both, make sure it's centralized in the middle, then we know it's in the right place. What I'm going to do, because that's 1.5 inches, we really don't want it that high, I'm going to bring it down to 75. Just so that I know it won't go over the window because it's below that. And then we're going to just use the arrow keys. If you haven't got arrow keys, then you can do it differently, and just make sure you measure it again afterwards. And then what we're going to do is just weld both of them. Now as you can see, I've done a little thing there, but that doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. So we just need our score lines. So I'm going to just do it and move it in the place I want it. Hold shift, straight down, double click. Change it to a score line. and then we've got another one over there. Should we move this one first? Let's just move it back. The X and Y is always a good one to use. I'm just using the arrows to move it. So now I know that's on 1 and 1. I also know that my score line has to be at 4. Actually, we'll take it to 5 because it's on 1, so 4 plus 1 is 5. So I know it's got to go that way 1, and no, wrong way, that way. So now I know it's in exactly the right place. And then what we do, we get the other one, and we'll go from there, hold the shift, come straight down, double click, and again. In case you didn't know, I always use this one because they're further apart. I always feel like the ones that are close together, like this one and this one, they're more of a perforation, and there's always a worry that if you're using it as a score line, it'll actually break the card up. So I always go for the wider space one. That's why I always pick that one. Okay, so let's check where this is. It seems to be in the right place there. Now, we can't really check that one because I've done it from where it comes down there. So it's not right on the line. So because it's right on the X line, I'm going to leave that. So we're going to hold it all and layer and group. So that's that bit done. You need 2 of them in case you didn't know. Now we're going to work on the lid. So that's 2 triangles we need. So layer, duplicate, and we're going to flip it. You want this bit fairly thin so that it can go right in. So if you want, actually if I delete that, you need the triangle 4 at the bottom so that it fits exactly on there. So if we do that, then you could just bring it up so that it's narrower. And then layer, duplicate, flip, and then come up here. Now you don't want it so narrow that it's going to break, but on the other hand, let's see how high they both are. That's quite high, isn't it? So let's, I think mine was about 5. Oh, but that's going to change. Hold on. We'll just bring them in a bit more. I think it's still going to be better. So we'll do it we'll bring it to 6. So if I just bring it down, there we go. Okay, so now we need to make sure it's centralized down the middle that way, which is that one. And then weld. So we've got them together. And now what we're going to do is take these and turn them. Oh. Just turn this one. Now this one we only want at again about a quarter, so we'll do 0.75. There we go. And this is going to go on the bottom as the part where you connect it to the box. So the only adjustment I'm going to make very quickly, I'm going to click on it again so the nodes are up, and I'm just going to click on that one, hold the shift key, and just come in a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just so that when you're sticking them down, you've got a bit of room there so that the two don't overlap and cause a problem. I'm going to bring that one in just a bit more. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is grab them both And again, make sure that they're lined up and weld. And then down here, we want this one a little bit bigger. First of all, we want it let's do 2.5. I think that should be enough, because we need an extra tab so that we can stick the two parts together. So we're going to get one and the other one. Now this time we can't centralize it because we need it to hang over one side. So what we're going to do is bring them both equal to that side so that we know we're all right there. And then we're going to bring it up, and then I'm going to bring this part down because we don't need it. We need about 1 inch, which is just width 1. There we go. I think I'll bring it up a little bit more, and then we can weld that in place. So you see you've got an extra little tab. Now the thing is whether you want to do 2 sides like we've done the box, or you want them all 4 separate sides that you stick together. So you can layer, duplicate, and just add it on with that tab there. Just come over the tiniest bit there, and then they'll be together. You will, if you hold both and weld, then you've got 2 pieces. That might be easier. So before we put all the score lines in, if you want to put a pattern on the top. Now I am just going to do this for quickness sake. I've got a nice snowflake there. I know it's in the region embossing and you haven't all got it, but I'm sure you do have a snowflake. I done mine with the stars. I used this star. That's how I done my one. But I thought I'd show you a snowflake because I'm sure you've all got plenty of snowflakes and you might not want a star. So first we've got to do is offset it. If you stick it straight to that, it doesn't really work. I tried that first. So we want to go outward, we want it round, leave as it is. Let's go 16. Okay. So it might look funny right now, but we need that to work first. So what we're going to do is see how many we want across the top. But we need a few, so I'm just gonna, let's duplicate again. I don't know, 3 or 4 are gonna work. So if we start at the end, and what you want to do is do some that are low, some that are a bit higher up. Actually, it's better to overlap them. We'll do this one low again. Just make sure you don't go over where it's going to join. So I think maybe we need to do them a bit smaller. So this has to be in with it. Let's just get them all up there. Just make it all a bit smaller and then we'll try again. So I'm going to do the first one low, the next one a little bit higher and overlapped, and the next one lower again, and one more just a little bit higher. And do you know what I'm going to do? If I can check this, if I go across all these and the size is greater than 4, look, I've got it spot on 4. So what I might do is get the snowflake, add that in with it, go across. So it says it's on 4, so if we do it just a little bit less than 4, there we go, then we know it's not going to cause an issue when you want to just got to send that to the back so I can get the snowflake. It's not going to cause an issue when you want to fold to turn the card on the corner. So now what we're going to do with that is weld it and then duplicate so that we can also put one on that side. Now before we weld it, I just want to work out where the line's going to be. The thing is, if you add the lines in now and you try and weld, it won't weld because a score line is an open line and it doesn't like welding on an open line. So what I'm going to do first, I've got it on the line there, but the X and Y is not going to help me because I'm on the other side and it does it from this side. Actually, I'll tell you what, we can use the X and Y if I put this point on the line and I know that's 25. So the Y now is spot on 1. The X, I need it at 75 so that it's spot on. So now I know this one has got to start just before or just after the 1. Okay, so let's just do a little line. Oh, it's gone to the wrong place. Just going to delete that and start again. That is getting in the way of it. Okay, so we need to go from there. You always have to press the every time you need it. There we go. Okay, so where is it saying I am? Oh, I'm looking at, so the Y, that doesn't really matter. I need to be at 5. Okay, so now I know I can't go over that line. I'm not going to change it to a score line just yet. I can go up against it but not over it. So I hope you're all following okay and understanding what I'm saying. Because this is the fold, I don't want these to go over it, so I just want to make sure I'm in the right place with the fold so that these don't get in the way when you want to fold it. Okay, so then what we're going to do is grab them and the main shape and you're going to weld, and now you see you've got this. So then you want to put a snowflake in each one. If we do 4, you'll see it come to life. There, so I think we've got all our snowflakes. I'm just going to send that to the back because it won't let me get to the snowflake. So now, if we click on all of them, hold the shift key, click all the snowflakes, layer duplicate, and these ones are going to go over on this side because we know they're exactly the same. And then what we're going to do, I have to move that out of the way, if you just get hold of them all and remove overlap. The line is in there. If I hold shift and click on the line and now remove overlap, there we go, all done. So we can now get rid of the snowflakes. Oh. There we go. We now have a pretty snowflake pattern on the top of our card. So now we just need to do our score lines. So let's come out a little bit. Do you know, I think I'll just delete that and we'll do it again. It was handy for making sure we were in the right place. So we need one there. Where's that gone, monkey? This is not working very well for me. Okay, let's go in a bit closer. If we do it from here, then we know we're in the right place. Click, shift, up you go. No, come on. Okay, I'm gonna, oh. There we go, got that spot on. Click, shift, up we go. Change to a score line and then straight across the middle. We should go from one side to the other. Oh. Actually, we don't need them there. They fold automatically, so we don't need them there. So, display, zoom to mat size. I think that's all the score lines on that. Down there. Okay, so grab it all and group. So now that's the top. They're the windows. And all you need now is another square. Another one of those shapes. And we're going to do the bottom. Where's the shape gone? Did it not come out? So we know that the square itself has got to be 4 because we've made a 4-inch box. Like that. It'll be sticking to the bottom there. And that needs to be 4 as well. And I think, okay, so if we bring that down just a little bit, just so that it doesn't go over the window. It shouldn't do anyway, but just to be sure. And we want 1, 2, 3. So this one we can just flip and put it down the bottom. And these two we want to turn. So that one's 90 degrees. And that one is 270 degrees. So now I'm going to go in close on that. And I am going to first of all go this way. So I've got that one, and that one. And I'm going to make sure that they're horizontal in the middle. And then I've got that one, and that one. And I'm going to do it the other way around. So now they're all fine. This one looks like it needs to come out a little bit. That one looks like it needs to go in a little bit. There we go. So then all we're going to do is weld all of that. And we've even got our little points to help us with the scoring. So click, shift, straight over, double click. There's one. Remember, click it every time you use it. Click, shift, straight over. There's 2. Click, shift, straight down. There's 3. And the last one. There we go. It's as simple as that. So we're going to group all that. The only thing I'd say is, depending on the weight of the candle, if what I done is I got another just 4-inch square. I made it 375 actually, and I'll show you. I put it in here and made it 375. So that there was just extra support for the candle. Like cut it out separately and then stuck it together in there. And then it's just all sticking together with the tabs. So that is how you make a box for your candle or whatever you like. I mean, I've put windows all the way round. Some people just like one window in one panel, or no windows at all and just make it a closed sort of cracker style box. But that is how it's done. And then once it all goes together, and it bends in the middle, you tie a ribbon round that just to make it pretty. And really, that is it. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a lovely Christmas, everybody, and I will see you in the new year. Thanks again. Bye for now.